Well, it's Saturday, October 28th, and I'm back down at the family lodge. We were just here on Tuesday doing a little wintering of the logs, and it was 76 degrees that day. It was 79 for a high yesterday. It was 51 when I left our condo, 49 when I hit Spencer, and it's 46 right now with a little bit of a breeze out of the northwest, and it feels like it's getting cooler. I intended to come down next Monday and turn the water system off because we've got a cold front coming in. There's snow in Iowa, and there's freezing temperatures coming here for Monday evening into Tuesday into Wednesday. So with hard freeze coming, I wanted to get the water turned off. Okay, I want to take you through what I want to get accomplished today and what I want to get videotaped for posterity. It's hard to believe this is going to be the best day we've got to do it, but that's what we're going to do. So basically, I want to do this in 3 steps. The first step is to drain the pipes, or drain the pump room, get all the water out from the inlet, from the outlets, and take an air compressor and blow the air through the pipes and blow all the water out, and try to get them ready for the freezing temperatures. Since it's going to be another 3 or 4 days, it'll give them a little chance to dry. Second thing I want to do is winterize the bathrooms. That's basically disconnecting everything, emptying the water out, and putting antifreeze in the bowl and in the toilet itself. And the third is to winterize the water system in the lodge. Now, I'll still be in the lodge at first to blow the pipes out to get the water out. The water from the pump room runs underground from that junction box and goes into a 6-inch pipe just there in that corner. It comes up to my Rube Goldberg system underneath the sink, kitchen sink, goes back out underground into the shower. So most of the pipes that are above ground, we can allow gravity to get the water out, and I'll use the air pump too. I'll show that when we get going. But the first thing I need to do is, if there's anything that needs to be cleaned using water, I need to get that done. So what I'm going to do first is I want to clean both bathrooms, the toilets, and then I want to empty out the refrigerator and clean all the shelves in that with using the hot water inside. So I'm going to do those 3 things first, and then I'll get started on shutting down the water. So the toilet's clean in the north bathroom. I've already done the south bathroom. And now I'm going into the kitchen. We're going to clean out the refrigerator. That's the last thing I need water for. Okay, what I want to do, anything that's perishable, I'm going to toss. It's the end of the season. I don't believe anyone's going to be down here cooking with butter. We're in the rest of it. Down the lowest setting. until springtime. It'll be a whole new video. Well, I got the bathroom cleaned, and I started running a video, and I got all the door clean, and then I turned it off. Thought I was done, and I realized I hadn't done the drawers or the shelves yet. So, as you can see, it is now clean. I'm closing it up, and now I'm ready to turn the water off. I can think of nothing else I need the water for. It's 11:30, and we're going to get started turning the water off and blowing out the pipes. Okay, now we're ready to drain the water. Some of the things we're going to need. Show you down there. We got antifreeze, RV antifreeze. We've got the compressor to blow air through the pipes. This will be needed to winterize the bathrooms, and I've got some wrenches there just in case we need them to do some things. First thing I'm going to do is turn off the pump. Next thing I want to do is I want to take the old filter out. It's nice and black, but we don't need a filter in there. And while there's still a little water pressure, I want to be able to take it out back and clean it. So first thing you need to do, it's on inline. It needs to be turned 90 degrees. And that turns it off. Now it's on bypass, so any water going through here bypasses this. And then what you need to do is release the pressure. There's a red button on top of here. You just hear that a little bit. It releases the pressure. Grab the wrench from up here, put it on, and turn. And it's not that tight. As I've said before, the one thing you want to make sure, there's an O-ring in the top of this. You do not want to lose that O-ring. So, knock you over here. What I'm going to do is come out here. Dump the water out with my finger over there to make sure I don't lose the O-ring. Dump out the old. I don't know if you can see down in there, you can see all that buildup in there. Let me turn you around here. Now what I want to do is get a little bit of bleach from in there, put it in here, get rid of that all that buildup, and then I'll just place it back in the on the shelf for the winter. Also, that air compressor right there, electric air compressor, I keep in that black topped container right there. We've got plenty of tools inside, but I like bringing my own because I know where they're at. That's one of the things I want to do this summer, or this winter, is organize all those tools and take back what we don't need. A little bleach. I need to buy some more bleach. Pour it in there. Let it swirl around. I'm going to need a couple of towels. Paper towels here. Got another half-gallon of bleach back here, I notice. Still can have too much bleach. You can see how it's already broken up the buildup for the most part. I'll stick the rag down there for the rest of it. And then I'll just use what water pressure we've got left to rinse it out. And turn you back on when I do the next. Okay, the next step is to empty the water out of the system. First I'll turn this on, and I'll let that run until we lose all the pressure on the pump. You can hear it running, you can see the pressure going down. And there it goes. So now we want to start up high, or want to get rid of the water that's in this hose and in this. To do that, we turn this on. There we go. To help that along, we open this up. You can see now we want to get rid of the water that's going to the bathrooms. We want to get rid of that. So we've got one valve over here on the tree to get rid of all the water in the tree. And in here, I'm going to turn the filter to in line, so now air should be going in through there. And we're going to turn this one on. That's the lowest point in the system out here. I don't know if you can see, but the pipe actually bends down, so that's the corner is the lowest point. So that gets rid of all the water. So now all the water should be, for the most part, out of the system. And now what we want to do is drain what's going to the cabin and what's going to coming from the lake, and we'll do that in just a second. Okay, now what I want to do is drain the lines. The red valve is the 1-inch pipe that comes in from the lake, and the smaller one on the right is what goes to the lodge. So when I turn that on, you can see water flowing out of that. It's coming back out of the tree in there, and also backing a little bit, coming back out of the lodge, because you have the water flowing up to the shower, and you've got it going up to the sink, which are both higher than this. And then I want to turn this on. There, I think you can see water coming out. And next, what I want to do is walk out towards the lake where the water comes in. We've got that valve out there. Really, I could probably leave that filled with water. So what I like to do is put a little bit of water in it. I'll take the water out of it, and then I'll, at some point, I'll put some bleach in there. Use a hose. Clean this off.
See the mud that's come in from the lake was too high. So you can see I've got a valve there and a connection. I'll connect a hose to that, lift the hose up in the air, and then put some bleach in it to where it flows to the next valve, and that'll help clean this pipe out. There we go. I'm just going to open that for now. I'll come back out later, letting this pipe drain. But this can flood, so I don't want it flooded and water getting back in the line that way. So before I leave, I'll come back out here, turn that off. But for right now, we're just going to let it drain.
And basically, we've got the drainage of the system started. Now we're going to start blowing some lines out.
Now I'm trying something new. Since that's a new pump, try to clean the rust and everything out of it. You say, what is that down there? What I did is I put this PVC piece on here so that I got a little better control. Put this in here and put about a cup of CLR, calcium, lime, and rust remover. And then what I've been doing is filling it back up with water. And then running the pump and getting rid of all of it. What I'll do is I'll keep filling this with clean water until the clean water starts coming out. And then we'll take care of the pump for good. And by for good, I mean for the winter. Less and less it's starting to come out, so that's what I'm looking for. I'll turn you back on when I complete the pump. Okay, I've run about 3 gallons through there until the water coming out of there, out of the pipe, the valve down there at the bottom of the tank, started showing clear. So now I'm ready to, the body of the pump here, we want to drain it. We have a drain plug down here. When you take that out every year and put it back in, you have a tendency to want to cross thread it. So I put this valve in here. So let's see what the water looks like here. That's good and clean, which that's what I was wanting, is all that CLR back out of the pump body. So I've got another approximately ½ gallon of water here, and I'm going to run it through there so that this will completely drain out. I may not need that much because it is really draining, but that holds the charge because of it can't go uphill. So what you want to do is get all this water out of here so that when it freezes, it doesn't bust the cast iron. Right behind here is the impeller for the pump, and that's why I wanted to get a little CLR on it, clean it out a little bit. One of the problems is this drain does not drain the best. It just goes out into the rocks, and after a year or so I think it somewhat gets clogged up. One of the things I'm going to do real quick, just to make sure, we'll put the PVC back on here. We'll put the funnel back in, and I'm going to pour a little water in here just to make sure we get everything coming out. There we go. You can see it pouring out there. So it is draining all of what I wanted it to drain. And the last thing I'll do before we consider the pump in decent shape, for the most part, I'm going to turn the pump on. So it can use the impeller to push out any loose some of the water that still sits in there. There we go. Help drain that out. Now we go to the air. Okay, I've got the air pump plugged into in here. All I'm going to do is just hold it right like that into the valve and then turn it on. You see it's pushing water out the bottom with that water pushing out there. And I see air coming out of that valve. So that's what we're wanting to do. Don't push out any loose water that's still in the pipe. Try to dry them out a little bit. We'll just do this for about a minute, and then we'll move on to drain both bathrooms. Okay, for the bathrooms, in this little case up in the corner, we've got these are for the faucets. A pair of pliers just in case the hoses don't want to come off. These are just finger tight. In the meantime, I went back out to the lake valve, shut it off so that in the future, if it fills with water, the water will not get into the hose. I jumped the gun a little bit. I flushed this toilet. Now we're going to flush it again, try to get all the water out of the tank. There we go. I like to take the top of the tank off. And I'll just set it in the trash can. You can see that almost all the water's out. So what I want to do is I want to disconnect the hose from the toilet tank. I've had these bust by holding water over the winter. So now I just take them off. Put them down and let them drain. Leave the water valve on. We'll do the same thing here, except I just take it off from the valve and then try to straighten the hose out as much as possible. Hit the valve here. There you go. You can see the water coming back out of it. Here we go. Straighten the hose out, get all the water out. Very reason I put drains in each one of these. One thing I need up on the shelves, hopefully I can find them really quick. I have, Ziploc bags. This is what I put the aerators. This is what I put the aerators and cartridge and everything else from the sinks in. And I'll put them back in that black case to hold them over winter. So first thing that comes off is that. Now for some reason somebody pulled that off. It should usually be tight enough that it doesn't want to come out. This should only be hand tight. That will go back on as soon as I take the cartridge out. This allows you to get to the cartridge. That's what the pliers are for too. Grab a hold of the end and pull out, and there's the cartridge for it. Last year when I put it in to the bag, I put WD-40 on it, tried to keep it good shape, and well, all that did was ruin the O-rings. For some reason, those O-rings absorbed the WD-40 and enlarged. The last thing we need to do, as far as getting ready for the, you see I got a hex key, that's what usually takes the knob off. I've got these little keys that are used to go into the aerator cover, because if I just turn this with my fingers, it just turns. It's keyed so that there's a couple notches up there. There they are right there. And that's tightening it. There. Nope, that's tightening it. Righty tighty, no, I was. Didn't think I'd put it on that tight. There we go. That's loosening it. I had to sit here and think about it a second because I've never had them this tight before. I've got to turn to the side here to keep it going. Boy, that is unusual. There we go. Now it's getting easier. Usually I can, once I get it started, I can get it out of there. And you can see all the buildup inside of the aerator. That's the crap that comes through the water. That goes in here. I may buy some new ones for the spring. Put the tool back in here. So I've got it for the north bathroom. I'm in the south bathroom right now. Put this back on so it's not lost. And now we'll get the air pump. Just a second. The air pump is plugged in. I'll hold it in one hand until I'm sure there's no water is going to come out to the sink. Turn it on and I'll start it up here to try to blow water back out the pipe back down there. I'll set you up because I need to try to use both hands. I'll put the air down here, close this off, and if there is any water, it'll come out down at the bottom. 2 drops, 3 drops. Try to straighten it out a little. Even covering these, there were 2 drops of water came out. I straightened it out and put it down into the trash can to keep it straight, and still no extra water came out. So now these are drained. Basically, to winterize, all I need to do is put a little antifreeze in these 2, and I'll do that in a minute. Right now I want to do the other bathroom. Stop by here and put the stuff for the sink valve. Grab another Ziploc. Wash this one after cleaning it. Just hold down the valve as long as it takes. I got the trash can outside, but I'll just set this on top of the extra toilet paper for right now. You can see the majority of the water's out. Put this down while I get down here on my hands and knees. Try to undo this one, and it's coming off. There we go. It gets all the water out of these, and I'm just going to go ahead and take it loose here too, because if it holds any water up there, it ends up cracking that plastic. It's no big deal. Put these back on in the spring. Just let that sit there. Get this one. That was a little tighter. That's why we bring the pliers. Let the water drain out. Activate the valve. Get the rest of the water out. More plugs so it doesn't get all soaked. These are rubber, so they're not, with just a drop or two of water in them, they're not going to bust. Just want to make sure that any of the curves or whatever don't have standing water in them. Oh. Well, this is where, well, that one just came off too. I'll try to put them on loose enough so that it only takes a couple of turns to take them off, but put that in my bag. Take the body off. And again, we're going to need the pliers. Grab hold of the head of it. Just pull straight up. And that is the cartridge for the valve. Put it away. I'll go ahead and put, I don't need water going in this. I'll set that down. Put this back on. Put my tools back out of here, my faucet tools. And get my key. Now, see if I can't set you up on the toilet seat. And you can sit there and watch to see what I'm doing. Just need to find the two indentations. Right there. Oh, I've never had them this hard before. I must have put them on there tight. Either that, there was a lot of buildup from the water on them. You can see the rust and mineral buildup that clogs these up, and it affects the flow of water by the end of the season. Oh, that's the wrong one. Put these away. Close them up, and they go in that black and yellow compartment box. Put these away. Close it up, and it goes in the upper left corner. Get this plugged in. Put this in here. Turn it on. Oh, I was able to stretch the hose out to the bottom of that step stool, and there was no water came out of it. So that's that. Both of the bathrooms are drained. That is the divider box, the black and yellow one. There's the second cartridge. These are the tools that go up here in this corner. I'll use the air compressor inside. But since I'm out here, the last thing I have to do out here is to winterize. So I might as well do that. Might as well. Somebody's burning smoke, burning a fire. Smell the smoke. So what I want to do, you see there's just a little water in there. I want about a 50-50 mixture. So now, that should not freeze. And we want about a 50-50 mixture here. Really don't need 50-50 right now. There we go. But because it's not going to get that cold, it's only going to get down to the mid-20s. But those are winterized. Turn all the lights off. I can go ahead and lock the door, but I need to bring the trash can back in there. That one's done. In here. Get the lid off. Oh, raise this up. 50-50 mixture here. 50-50 mixture here. People can still use the bathrooms during the winter by bringing a bucket of water in here, but they have to remember to put the antifreeze back on, or we have problems. So everything's winterized. We'll go inside and work in there. Well, I'm ready to leave. I've closed off the drain valve down here to the inlet pipe, and I've closed it up. But even if it floods, it won't have any water in it. Thought about having a fire, but I would have had to mess with it all day and smell like smoke and deal with the ashes before I left. And actually, it feels like it's, I checked the weather and it said it was up to 57, which is nicer than I thought it was going to be. This bathroom is winterized and closed up. The north bathroom is winterized and closed up. And I cleaned the toilets.
We've got antifreeze in them. The inline filter is gone, but I still have it turned on to inline, so if we don't forget it in the spring, it's going to flood us, which I've done that before. We're at 0. Everything's open. The upper valve's open. The lower valve's open. I ran the, just to make sure there's nothing in there, nothing else came out. Turn the light off. Need to lock the door. Reach in there, pull it shut, try it, and it's done. It's a gray day. Turned out a little longer video than I expected, so I'm breaking this video up into 2. Part 1 is the shallow well and the bathrooms, and part 2 will be the winterizing the lodge. So until next time, take care of yourself and stay safe.